There's going to be a lot of Arlet in this matchup, but welcome back. This is game number 3, this best of 5 between ONIC ID going up against ONIC Philippines, the third place match. We're starting it here, and again, assassin versus assassin between King Kong and Kyrie.
You know what, Lafel, I'm worried about our friend from the ECA because he's this close to getting an aneurysm, but I think that is from a lack of faith.
He's molding.
He's molding, but I see what ONIC PH are getting to here. This is Brusco now. Did you see how Brusco played on the Badang game number 1? Look at this, he's very low. Could have taken down Keyboy. He's down a fifth of his health. Super Prince threatening the kill on the Sans. The choke on the Keyboy. King Kong coming in with an early rotation too. Might even score the Little Wanderer. That's a technical knockout on Brusco, but hey, that's the cost of getting aggressive early on.
And right now, Keyboy already using the Revitalize, make sure that San stays in lane, but now looks like King Kong goes in.
Whoop! Flicker's already spent with a choke slam, taking down the Gila one.
I gotta say, these mid laners are playing like EXP laners, trying to trade as much as they can, and so far, ONIC Philippines is on top. King Kong very patient to stay in the mid lane to make sure a gank actually happens.
So here's a quick look at the emblems, trying to understand where these teams are coming from, how they built their heroes. How often does this happen? Concussive blast on the Phoveus. He wants to clear quick and leave.
I mean, look at that. He even has the thrill. So kind of wants to win the lane, kind of, making sure that there's a bit more damage than you would expect, I guess. Yeah, looking at how the map is looking like, even with ONIC Philippines winning that mid lane, so far it doesn't translate too much, which is good for ONIC Indonesia, because at this point I kind of feel like, if possible, they do want to play for that turtle. The difference is, this time without the Kalia, the setup isn't going to be as easy, you know, comparing the Kalia as well to Gapikacha.
Yep, there's more steps for ONIC ID to find success. Now ONIC PH first to the scene, looking for that choke on the Keyboy. Kirk putting him up. The bravest fighter set in already. Lutpi ready to go, throwing hands, or should I say great swords into the back line. King Kong looking for that Traceless, and the successful retribution coming in from the Sigma jungler. ONIC PH pushing the advantage. Look at this, they're crossing the threshold. Crimson Beacon finds Sans, finds another. Keyboy forces a revitalize, but it's not going to be enough. The ONIC PH squad are way too deep to find nothing. They take down Keyboy.
This is the consequences of dying early as a mid laner. You don't get that level 4 on time. And that caused them to lose, but hey, Lutpi trying to get something back, getting a kill. And it looks like he's able to escape, no problem.
They did not expect a rogue Lapu-Lapu to be waiting for them in the bush. And it's Kirk who gets the worst of it. Bottom lane, we haven't really talked about this much. Again, you give Kelra and Savero space. You don't know what you're cooking with. Kyrie going for that small camp attempt, and now they're crossing over. Oh no, Super Prince is a little too deep. He does have a flicker. Almost bumped into the wall. Gets away with it though. No one's watching.
Yep. Overall, a lot of attempts coming in from both teams, but nothing super successful just yet. So definitely got to look at those timers on those flickers, especially, which also in my opinion, Kirk kind of used the flicker very early in the previous turtle fight, but again, not punished, so overall still looking pretty good. Savero having that Hunter Strike, it does mean, oh, hold on, final flash.
And it starts. The Mountain Shocker's thrown out. Oh, but Brusco misplaced himself. Used the flicker, but no one caught with the final slash. They put him where they wanted to be. ONIC ID are at least cutting it close, 2-2.
But we can definitely see ONIC PH, the idea is really trying to shut down Sans as much as they can. Because how many times have they ganked mid? At this point, it looks personal.
Yep, this is the same situation that they found themselves in game 1. Again, we're not used to Sans being forced to play reactively, to be on the back foot. And this seems to be the play for the Super Fam. Now Savero put down a half health. This is where the turtle is going to be spawning. So this is hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, pressuring the gold lane and starting up early. Keyboy, the middle of 3 here. Red Revitalize already used. Brusco down to 1/5 of his health. And the Mount Shocker. Keyboy doesn't want to catch the tail end of that stun. In comes Lutpi. Uses his ult. Finds Brusco into the back line there. And he is still alive. Spellbound going to keep him up. Keyboy. Defensive AOG. Kelra unable to stop Kyrie from scoring the second turtle. Keyboy might go down here. The captain of the Sky Kings fall.
A bit messy coming in from both teams. But again, we see the idea coming in from ONIC Indonesia. Doesn't matter who. As long as it's Arlet, we got to take him down. And I got to say, Leo, the fact that Sans has been targeted so much, I blame Savero. He's so ungankable that you just got to go mid. going to the EXP is going to be difficult going up against this Lapu Lapu. So, you know, Savero's so good that Sans has to take the hit for it.
I agree with you, because the only reason why King Kong and Keller tried in the bottom lane because it was free. They already have the turtle there anyways, but regardless, they would not waste time to try and take down a Savero. So this is the best ONIC PH can do, is to just check what's going on with Savero, lest they will still continue to try pressure Sans. Sans jumping up, forcing a flicker from Super Prince. Now the response, do they know this is 4? Yes, they do know it's 4, and it's still worth it. Keyboy, revitalized already, final slash, hits 2, displacing Sans, but Keyboy might bite it here. Looking for the damage, AOG. Between these three from ONIC PH, there's really nothing going on. Instead, it does buy time and space for Keller to push, though. Down bottom, that's the first taken down. Zaman force drop to push Savero back.
At this point, I'm pretty sure Keller is a bit annoyed because he's not trading with Savero. Savero's playing very, very safe.
Fight me!
Fight me! Come on, man! You're a Granger! You know how to use this hero. But yeah, looking at the fight, looks like Keyboy was trying really hard to bait out as many skills as possible coming in from ONIC Philippines and then just threading the needle with AOG. Looking at the gold difference here, not a lot of gold difference when we're looking at gold. The biggest difference is in the jungle, but this is the thing about Yi Sun-shin. Just farm up very, very fast, and he's using it to his advantage.
The meta may change, but players' habits do not. King Kong keeping up his jungling pattern and his speed even in August of 2025. Final turtle spawns, lower quarter, here we go. ONIC PH, major presence here. Bush control here from Brusco, missing. The flicker spent in already. Keyboy splitting up Super Prince and King Kong. Ludwig scores. How that happens? Up and force by Kelra. Pushing back Keyboy, Sans, and Kyrie, but it's not enough. They're compromised. Brusco falls. They're a man down. AOG Keyboy splitting up the rest of ONIC PH. Down goes Prince. Nothing for the M6 World Champions there, and that turtle take goes all to the Sky Kings.
Lupi is amazing at splitting up families, man, because he makes sure that there's no 5v5 team fights. He goes to the back line, makes you choose who do you want to deal with, everyone else or just me?
That doesn't sound as good as it looks, but Lupi is doing God's work for the Indonesian champions here. And there's just not him doing that. Keyboy too. Look at this late entry AOG coming in. And there it is. Oh, masterful. ONIC PH really had no business being deep into that fight the way they were.
Yeah, this is a good way for ONIC Indonesia to approach this team fight, which is just making sure it's not a 5v5. Don't make it honest. Make it so that you got to choose who you got to deal with. And we got a lot to deal with here. ONIC ID still 1,000 gold ahead. Good at going up against ONIC Philippines, but again, looking at their damage dealers, looking at Kelra as well as King Kong, they're in a very good position to get back into this game.
Yep. If anything, King Kong is in a more beneficial spot. Keyboy here, unable to pop the AOG to be able to retreat. King Kong is just going to farm. King Kong is just going to farm. The fact that Savero denied a lot of fights from Kelra, maybe that's what made the 500 gold difference, but the Super Fam ain't sweating it. The Super Fam ain't sweating it. ONIC ID are looking for their wins, licking their wounds. They've lost the 1,000 gold lead. I don't know where to find it next, because to be able to split up a family, right, as you so eloquently put it,
yes,
the family has to be together. But look at this now. ONIC PH are actually across the map. They're spread out.
Yeah, and the fact that King Kong, I feel like Keyboy really, hold on, looks like Kirk got caught.
And Kirk is gonna go down here. Savero gets the kill. Zaman Force spent in by Kelra, dashing through, and Sans gets bitten down. Perfect chrono vision. Now Keyboy left to the dogs here, and by the dogs I mean the Filipino porcupines. 2 for 1 the trade. ONIC PH come out on top.
Amazing Mount Shocker coming in from King Kong, stunning 2. And I was about to say, I kind of feel like ONIC ID, they're miscalculating the amount of damage that Yi Sun-shin could do, because the last time they saw him, it was just a Hunter Strike. But now he has a BOD as well. Look into the mid lane here. Look at how Yi Sun-shin, King Kong enters the fight. Flicker used and then getting to both Sans, as well as Savero got caught. Purify a little bit too late. I can't blame them. Who would have saw that coming?
Also, immaculate positioning on Kelra. He was fighting between a bush, a wall, and the other half of the map that belonged to ONIC ID, and he made it work. Great, great positioning. That's what scored the Free Lord for ONIC PH. And now the map will work itself up to become in blue. Super Friends pushing back all 5 members of ONIC ID. Now it's their turn to pull an Indonesian ube.
Yeah, but right now, ONIC ID, they have a good way to clear the Lord Mom's Character use. They're waiting for a position. Oh, the current miss!
Amazing placement! They cordoned off all of ONIC ID behind that tier 2 up top. Super Friends Crimson, Beacon and Flicker deep into ONIC ID's base. Worth it. All is worth it. 3 for 1 plus this charge on the inhibitor. ONIC PH, a blitzkrieg up top.
I gotta say, I didn't see that one coming because I thought the Dark Wave missed with the Flicker, but they made it work, and now the inhibitor up top is destroyed. Looks like the second tier turret down bottom is gonna follow suit. And if it doesn't get any worse, Kelra here now having that Holy Crystal. It's gonna be a lot of damage. The ONIC ID has to chunk through, and now ONIC ID, they don't even have a good way to actually initiate a fight. It's so different between Agato Kacha as well as Kalia. Kalia, you almost don't have to think about it. Just press your ult, whoever's there, you just go with it.
There's a lot of foresight involved if you're playing the Gatot. One of the main differences is at least there's a defensive aspect of Gatot, not so much for Kalia. Looking at the items right now, you know that a Harith is ahead when it doesn't build the book. Kelra went straight for the Holy Crystal, went straight for the Scythe, went straight for the Feather. And Harith mains, be happy. Like, Kelra is making your hero once more worth it, because there was a time in the past month when Harith was totally useless.
With that said, we gotta look, no real gold difference between the gold laners, only about like what, 100, 200. So Zavero is still farming up very, very well. And a reverse situation between King Kong as well as Kyrie, because now Kyrie is the one with 2 items and King Kong is the one with 3. And the thing about a Yi Sun-Shin is that you skill very, very well. So yeah, definitely a much different position now. ONIC PH against ONIC ID. They really got to respect King Kong here because Yi Sun-Shin is deceptively strong.
Yep. Very high macro utility. Very good damage burst if you have good positioning. Picks up the Malefic gun, rather roar here. Able to shred right through even Lutpi or Keyboy. I also like how Zavero now has the Sea Halberd. So he can even pierce through Kelra's shields, even Super Fences, because those are what makes the difference between a fight that ends well for ONIC ID or a fight that just ends, period.
I gotta tell you, Leo, if I'm ONIC ID, this is so difficult because at this point I don't know who to target because everyone's so slippery. Kelra slippery, Super Prince slippery, King Kong slippery. It's not that you don't want to catch. The question is how?
Oh, fight breaks out, forces Super Prince to go defensively. King Kong gets shut down by Kyrie. That's a lot of damage spread out through the Super Fam, and they split him up again. That seems to be the key here. Kelra dancing to the Diamond Force. Oh, does not stand long enough. Kyrie gets a triple. Brusco and Kirk, the only ones left. ONIC PH have gotten denied their front line. Once again, the banana split works out for ONIC ID as they claim a Lord.
I was wondering who are they gonna target. They were decisive. Go for King Kong first, followed by Super Friends. And then when Kelra's all alone, you deal with him then. Split up the team fight and being decisive. Gotta give a big heads up to Lupi. He went for the first engage and it worked out well.
He's so good at splitting up the Super family.
That's how you deal with family. You split them up. But now, yeah, looking back at this replay, oh, it almost looks like they're doing a magic trick. Like, hey, everyone, look at Lupi.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, everyone else goes straight for King Kong. That's clever.
One might also look at it this way. Don't pay attention to Brusco or Kirk. That's what ONIC PH wants you to do. And they said, just ignore those two. They're way too chunky. It's useless for us to try. Go for Fritz, Kelra, and King Kong. Down goes the Monster Mage again. He is slain. So is Brusco. The Zaman Force left there. Kelra didn't even get to use it. The Lord for ONIC ID still standing as it crashes through mid.
Yeah, super. Holy, Kelra gets taken down. By Kyrie, double kill. And now they want to go through Kirk. Looks like he's going to get taken down by Zavero. And ONIC ID match point against ONIC Philippines.